Morning, Trainiacs. If you happen to be somebody that's constantly like, oh baby, mind if I take this chest strap off? It's chafing me. Well, you might be in luck because this is the Wahoo Ticker Fit forearm heart rate monitor. That's a lot. We're gonna talk about it today. So in today's daily triathlon goodness, we're talking about this. This is the Wahoo Ticker Fit forearm strap. As opposed to the Ticker chest strap, this goes on your forearm. Just like the Ticker chest strap, this also pairs by Bluetooth and Ant+. It's also the same price as the Ticker X chest strap at $79.99 US. And it's the same IPX7 waterproof resistance, so it claims that it's waterproof up to 5 feet. However, that's not really enough to make me want to be confident about swimming with it. Another difference is that the chest strap has a standard coin size battery, whereas the Ticker Fit has a rechargeable by a USB 30-hour battery. The heart rate readings on a chest strap are actually reading the electrical impulses that are coming from your body, whereas the Fit, it's using the new optical sensor technology that isn't quite as accurate. In addition to that, you also don't get running analytics like you do on a Ticker X. You don't have treadmill mode like you do here. You don't get indoor cycling cadence. You don't have a memory, and you don't have rep counting. So the reason for this existing is that it literally just came down to preference. I asked my contact at Wahoo, thank you Zach for sending this out, why this should exist when this is doing a perfectly good job. What he said was they were getting a number of requests from people who find a chest strap to be very constrictive and not comfortable to do something for the arm. However, going over to something measuring on the arm forces them to not actually take the same readings that are the actual electrical pulses coming from your body that generates the nice, consistent, accurate heart rate that a chest strap does. So the big question is, how accurate is the Ticker Fit? Let's see. Last weekend, I ended up doing both a bike and a run workout simultaneously wearing the chest strap and the new Ticker Fit. And what we've got here is an overlay of the heart rate data between the two. The red data here is the chest strap and the blue is the Ticker Fit. And let's zoom in here. You can basically see in a general sort of sense that the Ticker Fit kept up almost point for point with the chest strap, even though it's the optical heart rate sensor as opposed to the electrical pulse sensor. I would say that point for point, it kept up almost the entire way. And anywhere that it's wildly off, like you can see as the workout goes on, it's off a fair bit. I think that's just me not quite matching up the graphs very right because it ends up evening out towards the end. There's one thing here that I think is sort of apparent is that there's a little bit more smoothing going on, as in it's taking more average readings as it's going. And that's why you don't see nearly as many jagged spots here. And the really short bursts that I did at the end didn't quite have the same peaks and the same lows. So I haven't found any documentation to say that there's more average data collection going on with the Ticker Fit. But as I was looking at the screen, as I was constantly checking my watch, as I was looking between all the devices, basically every single second that I looked, if it said 139 on my watch, it said 139 on the screen. If anything, it was off by one beat at most, but it seems like the data collection might be a little bit more averaged out here with the Ticker Fit. Let's go to the run. And we see that same sort of thing, that even though I set the smoothing in Training Peaks here to take the most amount of data possible on both, you can see that the blue line is just smoothed out a fair bit more when it gets uploaded. So is it accurate? Yes. Is it accurate for the scientific testing that my buddy Daryl Hurry might need? Maybe not. And the reviews that are on the Wahoo website itself actually kind of tell the tale. It's actually ranked highest of all the heart rate monitors that they've got. I think it's ranked highest in ease of use. Makes sense. Like all Wahoo products, they're set up to be very user-friendly. It's comfortable. I didn't have any issues with it, even though I set it up here on my bicep. And normally you'd think that that would chafe. Didn't chafe whatsoever. You've got two sizes of forearm strap, going from like my wispy little pipe cleaner arms all the way up to probably, I don't know, like Popeye forearms. But it got dinged a little bit on the value, coming in at the same $80 that the Ticker X does, but losing a bunch of the running and metrics that you get with that chest rate, heart rate, chest strap. I think rightfully so, that what you give up in those metrics, you get in comfort if you are somebody that prefers to have a heart rate monitor on your forearm as opposed to your chest. So if you are somebody that doesn't like a chest strap, check it out. And if you are somebody that isn't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. And if you are subscribed, thank you for watching, and share this with your favorite training partner who has the stinkiest, oldest strap in the world.